Is there any relationship between your birthday, the day which you are born, and your star and your destiny? And I'm here to tell you, yes, there is a great relationship. Your date of birth affects your destiny a lot. In fact, it speaks who you are. It can give you a clue of your destiny. It can give you a clue of what your star is. And I'm talking this from a biblical perspective. This is not astrology. This is a biblical perspective which you ought to understand. One thing with astrologers, they know these things. They know this truth, but they have perverted the truth. Astrology, they know everybody has a star, but they have perverted the truth. Everyone born of a woman has a star. That's one thing you should know. And your star is your destiny. How do you know about this? The Bible tells us when Jesus was born, Jesus was God, but he came to earth as man. Now, when Jesus was born, the wise men saw his star, and then they traveled all the way to Israel and asking Herod, where is he born? The King of the Jews. They were specific. They know who he was, and they knew where he was going to be born, but they did not know the specific location. But they knew the country, and they knew the day when he was going to be born. So there was a star which was linked to the day which Jesus was born, and that star spoke about his destiny. So the star which is linked to the day which you are born speaks about your destiny. Hello guys, thanks for watching. I'm Cleophas Wanyama, Cleo with him, and this is Christian Media, where we bring you news, commentaries, Bible-based teachings, gospel music, plus many more. And if you want to donate to this ministry to support us financially, use the information on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Now, the relationship between your date of birth and your destiny. Now, everybody born of this woman, when you are born into this world, you pass through the gates of time. There's something called the gates of time. Now, when God created the earth, God put the earth within the perimeters of time. The earth is within the walls of time. In heaven, there is no time. It's in heaven, it's in eternity. There is no time. In fact, in the realm of the spirit, when you operate in the realm of the spirit, there is no time. But the physical realm is controlled, managed by time. And we see this in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, on the fourth day of creation, when God created the sun, moon, and the stars, and God mandated them to control time, to rule the day, to rule the night, to control seasons. So everyone born of this woman, everyone born of a woman, passes through the gates of time. You have to pass through the gates of time because the earth is within the perimeters of time. For instance, if an angel comes to earth, an angel will come from a place of no time. But the moment the angel accesses the earth, the angel must be put within the perimeters of time. How do I know it? Because, for instance, an angel appears right now on this broadcast, will be able to know which day, which time, and which hour the angel appeared. The angel will be within the perimeters of time. That's why we found when God was creating the earth, the first thing which God created was time. Evening and morning was the first day. That was time. There was darkness. The Spirit of the Lord moved upon the water. And God said, let there be light. And God separated light from darkness. What? In the scientific language, which Moses didn't have, is that the earth started rotating around the sun, causing day and night. Now that's where time was created. Now God, the first thing God created was time, and everything else took place within the perimeters of time. That's why we are told that creation took place within 6 days, and on the 7th day God rested. That is time. Even creation itself was measured by time. So even God himself, for him to work after the work of creation, for him to do the work of creation, he had to put himself within the perimeters of time. So God respects the law of time. Jesus, when he came into this earth, he had to be born of a woman. Mary carried the pregnancy, 9 months, gave birth at a specific day. So even Jesus, when he came to this world, he passed through the gates of time. So your gate of time is the day which you are born. The day which you are born, you pass through the gates of the time. This is why you are given a birth certificate. A birth certificate is one of the most important documents in a person's life, because it is from the birth certificate you're going to get your national ID. From the birth certificate, they use it to enroll you to school, in elementary school, secondary school. Then they have to know when you are born. And it's from your birth certificate you're able also to get your passport. This is why all your documents contain your date of birth. Now, if it is important for the government to know the date of birth, what makes you think in the realm of the spirit it doesn't matter? It matters. Life is measured by time. So, for instance, I'm 37 years old by the time I'm making this video. How do I know that? By the day which I was born. My life is measured by time. So if I didn't know when I was born, it would be difficult for me to know how old I am. And people and even the government, the reason why the government gives you an ID or a birth certificate, they need to know how many adults do we have, how many children do we have, how many have reached the age of 18 and above, how many have reached the age of being adults, for them to start taking responsibility. All those things are measured by time. So when you pass through the gates of time, coming to this world, that is your birthday, and it speaks a lot. Now, the wise men knew Jesus. They knew who he was by the day which he was born. They say, we have seen his time, we have come to worship him. Where is he born? The King of the Jews. Your star speaks who you are. Because your birthday is the foundation of your life. Your birthday is the door through which you came into this world. This is why even witches and wizards, they use birthdays to cast spells on people. Some of you might be under spell. You might be under the bondage of witchcraft. That witchcraft was placed on the day which you are born. There are some witches. What they do, they cast the day which you are born. And when the day which you are born is cast, your whole life is programmed to follow that curse till the day you die. Because your life is a journey from the day you are born till the day you die. So if somebody has access, spiritual access to the day which you are born, can be able to program your whole destiny. Your destiny is about from the day you are born till the day you die. That's why we read about Jesus from the day Jesus was born till the day he died on the cross, resurrected, and went to heaven. Birthdays are very important. So the day which you are born, it matters a lot. There is a relationship, there is a star which is linked to the day which you are born. We may not see it in the sky, and it's not even a physical star, because the star which the wise men saw, it wasn't a physical star, because they were the only ones who could see it. Otherwise, the whole of Israel would have noticed that something peculiar is happening. But it's only the wise men who knew, and they traveled all the way and gave the news to Herod. Herod wasn't aware what was happening in his nation. He wasn't aware. There is a great connection between your star and the day which you are born. The day which you are born speaks a lot concerning your destiny, because that's the gate of time through which you came into this world. And that gate becomes your foundation. It speaks who you are. It talks about the path which you ought to take. Because from the day Jesus was born, the wise men knew this is the King of the Jews. They knew he was the king. And when Jesus was hanging on the cross, they put that sign, this is the King of the Jews. The wise men were correct. They were very accurate. They saw the star of Jesus, which was linked to the day which he was born. So the day which you are born speaks about your destiny. And I'm gonna show you how to know according to scriptures. You can use the information in Genesis chapter 1. We'll look at the things which God created from the first day to the 7th day. And we are from that Genesis story, Genesis chapter 1, we're going to have life patterns. We're going to get patterns which are going to interpret. If you're born on a Monday, who are you? If you're born on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, who are you? We're able to know what your destiny entails. And by having that information, you can know how to go about to maximize your destiny, how to go about to fulfill your destiny. Birthdays are very important. Now, do you know why people get born again? This is what, if birthdays are not important, why did God bring the issue of being born again? Because you cannot enter heaven unless you are born again. That shows how important birthday is. You have two birthdays, the natural birthday and the spiritual birthday. But in most cases, people celebrate the natural birthday, because without the natural birthday, there wouldn't be the spiritual birthday, the day which you are born again. So the day which, listen, when you are born again, listen, the day you are born into this world, there's a lot of things. Maybe there were witchcraft programs, generational curses, life patterns which are negative, which are programmed into your life. And when you are born into this world, you automatically inherit them. Now, this is why you need to be born again. Now, you being born again, it redeems you. Now, it empowers you so that you can go and fulfill your intended destiny which God had created for you from the day which you were born. So, there is this issue. People say that God will give you, have you ever heard of destiny changer? I don't believe God is a destiny changer. It is only the devil who changes destiny. The God told Jeremiah, before I formed you, I knew you, and I really ordained you. I never changed anything. I ordained you to be a prophet. Jeremiah was already ordained even before his parents met and conceived him. So there was no changes. It's only the devil who changes, because he steals, kills, and destroys. So it's very important for you to know that God does not change the destinies. Only the enemies who changes the destinies of men. God will empower you to fulfill the destiny which He ordained for you even before you were born. Now, when you are born again, you are being empowered. You are being made a new creation in Christ Jesus. Now, after you are born again, it gives you the legal right. It gives you the empowerment to go and fulfill what God created you to do. Go and check the day which you are born and interpret it from the book of Genesis, which I'm going to show you in subsequent videos, how you're going to know the life pattern which you ought to take. Everybody takes a life pattern. You don't just wake up and start living. There's a life pattern which you follow from the day you are born till the day you die. And that life pattern dictates your destiny. It dictates what happens in your life, the events of your life, the things which God has ordained for you, your strengths and your abilities. So your birthday speaks a lot. If the birthday of Jesus spoke who he was, what makes you think your birthday doesn't speak who you are? Some of these things you see witchcraft, which people doing, astrologers, most of those things they're doing, they're not wrong. The only problem where it comes is that they pervert them. They pervert them. But witchcraft was brought in by fallen angels. And fallen angels were once in heaven. They know how the spiritual laws, the spiritual legalities work in heaven. So they just pervert those things. I usually give this example. If you go to study chemistry, you can come out knowing how to make drugs, how to make good chemicals, but at the same time you can come out knowing how to create weapons or chemical or poison which can kill people. It depends on how you apply the knowledge. Now, witchcraft is like somebody who is going to study, is like somebody who has the knowledge of chemistry, but he uses it to create poison to kill people. But it doesn't mean that the principles which he is applying are wrong. They're not wrong. He just knows how to manipulate to get the evil results. So that's why I usually tell people, when you see these witchcraft people, they operate based on principles. They don't just, do guesswork. And I'm not saying that we are copying. We are not trying to copy witches and doctors and we're not copying them. No. But if you see there's some things which they do, it's not that they just do guesswork. They're operating the laws of the Spirit. Just like the wise men, they were accurate. Wise men are astrologers. Wise men are not prophets. The wise men are magicians. They were able to know Jesus was born. They were very accurate. They knew Jesus was born. There was no prophet who stood up in Israel and say, hey, Jesus is being born today. Jesus is being born tomorrow. No, but the wise men, the witches and the wizards, astrologers were able to know Jesus was born. And they broke the news to Herod. They had that information. The astrologers, they are called the Magi. And that's where we get the English word magician. So that's a story for another day. So your star is related to the day which you're born. There are many videos in this channel. You can check them out. And I'll continue to release more so that you can understand and your life will be enlightened in Jesus' name. So guys, if you want to contact me, any question, any help concerning this issue, contact me with the information at the description box. I'll see you in the next video.